Sports talk conversations with a good laugh mixed in. This is the Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby. I'm David Thetford. That's Gary Ashby. This other guy, I don't know what he's doing here. We'll get to him in a minute.
He was here when we got here.
I know. We couldn't get him to leave. No, we're going to have Randy Rosetta here in just a minute. But talking about last week, Gary, you were on the show, but you were in Red Doso.
Yeah, from the deck.
Yep.
And I appreciate Craig Wells again. Craig does such a good job. I really think people look forward to my trips out of town. So, but I do appreciate Craig coming in and
he does a great job. He's always good to help too, and I appreciate him because he's knowledgeable and, of course, was out at Tech those years.
We can quit sucking up because he's golfing this morning.
Oh, he is? He's not even listening? Well, maybe Kathy's listening.
So that's enough about Craig.
Well, we did a little Bobby Davis tribute. The first thing, because they had to get to the funeral at 11, and had Donnie Hart and Jerry Reynolds here. Donnie played, of course, for Bobby Davis, and Jerry coached with him for many years. And Randy went to the service. We couldn't go because Gary was out of town and I was here. And the service was at 11, but I heard it was a great service. And David Thomas spoke, and he got emotional. And Donnie Hart spoke, and
both had great stories.
Did any of the sons talk?
No, and I think it was a pretty emotional day for them. Obviously, they let other people put love on them instead.
I got you. But I heard it was a great service and a big crowd, right?
Big crowd, yes.
All right, so that was the first thing. Then we had the Flatlander golf tournament. I didn't know we were going to do that till the tournament was already going on.
Did the old boy wear his kilt then?
Oh, yeah.
Did he show it on the TV?
No, we didn't do all that. I was afraid he'd flash them or something.
Blow up or something.
Maybe get David to wear one next week.
That's
Did
cute.
you wear a kilt?
No.
I never have.
They look like they're
I'm not saying I never will. Yeah. I never have.
I haven't either.
The odds are pretty.
You wear dresses sometimes, don't you? Do you dress up some?
That's just between me and my wife.
All right. Stacey Kelly was here.
Anybody else's business.
She's with CASA of Lubbock, this area, really, and that was great information about CASA and the needs that are there. But
and there are needs.
This tournament helps support that CASA organization. And Blake Beatty's the guy Gary was talking about that wore this kilt, and he did wear it. And
he's big enough to wear it.
He only wears it the last day of the tournament, so he's kind of like Tiger Woods in red and black.
Depend on the wind.
Yeah.
How hard
those kilts look heavy. I don't know. They don't look like
they wouldn't blow up.
Maybe he probably wanted to. And then Gary was on at 11. What else did we have?
Gary was on at 11.
What do we have?
Last week?
Did I have somebody I'm missing?
Yeah, somebody really important, but we need to talk about who's on today. Randy Rosetta is supposed to be in at 9.
Okay, he'll be here at 9.
9:20, John Morris, the voice of the Baylor Bears. He'll be in. 10 o'clock, the Sneeder, Chris Sneed, talk about the new rules in college football. And then at 10:20, looking forward to Coach Keith Patterson, the coach of the Abilene Christian Fighting War Eagles?
Wildcats.
Fighting Wildcats.
Wildcats.
Abilene Christian Fighting Wildcats. And then it seemed like there's somebody else. That sounds
Bammer
like
Flippo
plenty.
may be.
Oh, that's what it is.
Bammer may be on. We won't know till 10
possible
o'clock.
Bammer sighting.
He's been the hardest guy to get on our show. We've been trying for about 3 months now.
Yeah.
But Saturdays are crazy out at the Rawls course.
And we'll have him on Wednesday one time.
Yeah, we'll come in on Wednesday.
But anyway, we got Randy Rosetta in today, and he's going to be the new voice of what, Randy?
David may have to remind me what it's called.
The Fan Zone.
The
Fan Zone.
The Fan Zone.
Fan Zone on 100.7 Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I've been instructed I need to make sure folks remember. Monday night will be Coronado Estacado.
Every Monday.
That's Tuesday
good.
night will be Monterey Lubbock High. Wednesday night will be Friendship, Lubbock Cooper, and then Liberty, in that order.
All three of those on one night?
All three on Wednesday.
Okay. Starts at 6?
7.
Starts at 7.
7 o'clock. So
7 to 8?
I'm going to get in trouble on Wednesdays for not being at church. But
just on radio?
No. They told me I've got to look pretty. I've got to be on TV. I don't have to wear a kilt, but
Okay. You look good in one night. You lost all that weight.
Well, I appreciate you.
You have lost some weight. What happened?
Well, I went on a health kick.
You're withering away.
Decided I wanted to hang aroround for my wife and daughters for a little while.
Good. So you got a good wife.
How much have you lost,
daughters?
Randy? Because it's a bunch.
110 pounds.
That's unbelievable.
You lost a junior high kid.
I know.
Lost a third of me, basically.
Oh, that's phenomenal.
Yeah.
That's great. That is great. Because sometimes Randy goes with me when we go out of town, and I'll get a lot better gas mileage now.
That's true.
Well, my memory's such that when you walked in, I thought, well, that's not the Randy that I remember. So I just thought I'd just forgotten what you looked like.
Who is this? But anyway, of course, Joe Landine and his crew, including Randy Rosetta and
Doug Hensley's the third member of that trifecta.
Yeah,
hand me that. I'm not doing anything. I'll go show them some pictures.
Doug Hensley. There's the high school stuff right there.
There's the Lubbock High Westerners.
Oh, what else it got in it?
It's got Tech and Red Raiders.
There's a Red Baron on the front.
The Red Baron. Did you take that up?
No, I did not. But I've known Baron since he was born, because James Morton was here when I was at the AJ back then.
Yeah.
And I've got a great picture that pops up on Facebook once in a while when Baron and James came to an LSU Arkansas football game, and Baron got to meet Les Miles.
Is that right?
Les Miles was in recruiting mode with this 10-year-old. He gave him his spiel, took that white hat off, dropped it on Baron's hat, and walked away, and Baron's eyes got real big. And Sonny told me that Baron had that hat hanging on his bedpost, maybe still to this day.
Oh. Well, he didn't go there.
No. LSU would have liked to have had him, but
I bet they would have.
Everybody wanted him.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, everybody wanted Baron Morton. Glad we have him. But anyway, that's cool. And tell a little bit. You're from Kansas.
Yes, sir.
We're in Kansas.
I'm from Topeka, Kansas.
Okay.
Capital went to, which is very similar town to Lubbock. A lot of the same values and everything. Same kind of. Basically, I talked to a young man yesterday. Anybody who badmouths Lubbock because it's hard to get to, this kid's from Houston now. He said, maybe it is, but when you get here, there's at least one of everything you need. That's the first way I've heard it put that way, and he's exactly right. So, and Topeka's a lot that way. Went to University of Kansas. You know I'm a diehard Jayhawk.
Yep, I know you are.
And then made it down here in 1997. Somehow swindled a girl from Plainview into marrying me in 26.
That's your Plainview tie.
That's my Plainview tie.
Yeah, because you're not a bulldog.
No.
Everybody look at you, tell that.
Yeah, people tell me that, used to tell me when I was a little heftier, that me and my late father-in-law, Tom Hall, looked a lot like each other.
Yeah. Tom Hall was a good one, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. Miss him every day.
Long time.
Tom T?
No, not the I love guy. This was, how many years was he?
He did
doing
Wayland Baptist and Plainview High stuff. What did we say at his funeral for?
Oh, wow.
40 years at least between the two.
And that's something. He was a good man.
He was. His brother Bobby Hall, president of Wayland, just retired.
Oh.
And is, of all places, him and his wife have relocated to Uzbekistan.
Where's that?
It's as he says, it's somewhere in the stands.
Wow.
He's helping launch a new university there. Bobby deals with academic stuff way above my level.
I don't even know where Uzbekistan is.
I've looked it up on the map.
Yeah, it's not down by Iran, Texas, is it? Iran?
No.
People say they have callings. That's a call that I might have to hang
Lord,
up on that particular
Lord, hang
call.
on now here. I ain't going there.
Yeah, Lord, can you mind calling back later?
I think I misunderstood you.
Yeah.
But anyway, well, that's amazing. So, Randy has, of course, he worked for the AJ how many years? Lubbock and Abilene.
I was there for about 6 years. Moved around a little bit. Wound up in Baton Rouge.
I know it.
Of all places.
You're kind of messed up about them too, aren't you? I mean, you kind of wear caps all the time.
Oh yeah. To be at full disclosure, when I was 10 or 11 years old, I heard Skip Bertman speak at I don't know if it was an FCA thing, but I heard Skip Bertman and Bobby Bowden within about a month of each other speaking at events. And ever since then,
That's two good ones.
LSU baseball fan and Florida State football fan, because those guys
Did you hear Bobby Bowden when he came to Lubbock?
No, I was here.
We brought him, and you didn't get to go?
He swung by. I was at O'Banion Field, and you guys brought him by O'Banion Field
the first
pitch. Yeah, and I didn't get a chance to meet him.
When we got in the pickup that time to go somewhere else, he says, normally I get $25,000 to go through what you're putting me through today. And he was here for nothing.
You didn't pay him?
No.
Oh, good Lord.
It's for the Lord.
All right.
Sounded like he's hinting around a little.
I know. What was funny about that was the weekend that Bobby Knight was in town.
Yes, I do remember
Bobby
that.
Knight was coming to Lubbock.
Yes, two very different personalities, two great coaches.
Yep.
But I was in Baton Rouge for 14 years, and then my older daughter, who was born in Lubbock, came home after we'd come up for a Christmas visit and told me, Dad, I want to go to Texas Tech like Mom.
Okay.
I didn't want to live that far away from my first baby girl, so we picked up roots and came back in 2018. I tried a desk job from 8 to 5. Gary, I don't know how you do it.
Well,
he's not there a lot.
Well, I don't do the 8 to 5 anymore, so it's a lot easier.
We try to get in a good hour.
I tried working for my good friend Chris Cook with George Watson at Office Communications and was going crazy. So I launched my website in 2019 and hubcitypreps.com, and here we are.
hubcitypreps.com, and I got to tell you, I can't tell you how many times I've thought, Randy, because of what I do with broadcasting. I know how I can't even imagine covering all these sports and all these. How many schools do you cover now?
13, Liberty, and then starting next year will be 14 when Friendship's new school opens.
I mean, you're doing volleyball, soccer, everything. How do you do it?
I'd like to wish I had an answer for you. I will say I've got incredible help from George Watson, first of all.
Yeah, George is a good one.
He's a good one.
George and I were roommates at one time. Our wives knew each other, so we go back way back. We have a lot of secrets on each other.
Good.
I've got more on him than he's got on me. A lot of tech students help me out. I've got some freelancers that pitch in, and none of that's possible without my sponsors.
Yeah.
I will never ask people to pay for my content. Mm-hmm. That's something that goes on in the media world too much now.
Oh, they pay for the content.
They
well, like if you wanted to look at it, you would pay to look at it.
No subscriptions. No.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, thank goodness. I can't even get on the AJ anymore.
Well, I'll let you say that.
I can.
We'll show you how.
I can. They'd probably give me, I can, what is it, $9 or $1 or a month, or I don't know what it is.
You won't ever have to do that with my site. That's
good.
One of my hard and fast things I'm dedicated to is I won't make people do that. So.
Okay. Well, that's good. And you do an amazing job. Of course, when he goes with me out of town, Gary, to do games and stuff, we have to wait on him first off. We can't leave immediately when the game is over.
This is true.
Because he's down on the field and, smoothing
one of those
up.
professionals that you read about.
Yeah. So, but then as soon as he gets in the car, he's typing the whole way back.
Oh.
He's writing the story.
Well, that's how he gets some of that stuff done. Otherwise, you don't get to sleep much.
No, well, long days.
Yeah.
I had to learn doing this that when you do digital media, unlike newspapers, you're always on deadline, but you're never on deadline.
Well, can you push a button and say, Friendship quarterback so-and-so, so-and-so.
Write an article.
Just write an article about talking.
I could.
Yeah.
Same thing like I said with Bobby Hall. That's way above my intelligence level.
I think I'd learn it.
I've watched that deal. Somebody did that for me the other day. They said, write a story about me winning the presidency. And, and he pushed the button. And he said 1,000 words. He just was going like this, printing it. I was like, what in the world?
Well, no, I'm not saying do that. I'm just saying, like on my phone, I can send a text by talking the text. Hey, David.
Yeah.
See you at lunch. And then sometimes I'll look over and what I'm talking about will start be.
I know. I've seen it.
Typing on my phone. I'm going, whoa.
Which isn't good.
And you're real careful not to push send.
I know.
When you try to erase those things. So that's the way I'd do it.
So Hub City Preps is doing good.
Yes, sir.
You got it going good.
We had a nice growth spurt this summer, and I should mention a few guys who helped with that.
Do it.
Brent McGavick.
Oh, great. You mentioned him
one
twice.
One of my guys from day one. Jeff Horn.
Great guy.
Yeah.
Monterey guy.
You bet.
Scott Harrison from Lubbock Sports.
Another great guy.
Been a great dude. Josh Page.
Don't know him.
Josh Christian brothers played on the same offensive line as Cody Campbell.
Christian Brothers Automotive.
Yes, back.
Oh yeah, he's a Red Raider, and his wife is too.
His wife, Allison, played for the Lady Raiders, and then my friend Brian Malakian, who I don't know if you know, he is very tight with Larry Hayes from Larry's days at LCU.
Yeah. Or LCC.
Yeah.
Yes, LCC.
Yeah.
So
LCC.
Those have been kind of 5 of the big guys that have helped this growth spurt, and a lot of folks have chipped in. People like what we're doing, and that makes me proud.
Yeah, it's good.
Well, it's neat because high school sports, and even junior high to a certain extent, but those kids need to know that it's important, because it is important. It's important for their student body. It's important. Just kids need to have things to do.
You put pictures. You put a lot of pictures.
Yes.
I mean, lots. You get a lot more coverage than you can in some print media.
Well, and one of my sales pitches to this young man I was talking to the other day is, I don't know, Gary, you may know this percentage. A very, very small percentage of kids go on to play college sports.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but it is a very small percentage.
So for most of them, high school sports that's as good as it gets.
I will say this, Randy, it's a bigger percentage now than back in the old days when there were only so many schools to go to. Now, I love signing day because I get to watch and hear some schools that I ain't never heard of.
True.
You know, and so there's lots of places to go now. So I think that percentage is higher.
It is higher, but one of my big goals when I started this is I want this site to be where high school kids, their parents, their grandparents, their coaches, we're the chronicle of what they did in high school.
Yeah.
What they do beyond that's great, and I'll root for them. But what they do in those 4 years,
It's great things to keep in your scrapbook.
Yeah, like we've been there from day one with Aaliyah Chavez.
All right, let's talk about the fan zone, because this is brand new for you.
Yes.
How'd you get this job?
I'm not sure. I don't know if Jamie was.
And what happened to
Garrett.
Yeah, Garrett,
who was an intern for me at the AJ. Well, that makes me feel old. He is now the superintendent of IRA, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He's a great educator. I don't know if people realize he was on the radio a lot, but he was a principal at Monterey, assistant principal. Now he's going to go be a superintendent.
He coached one of my daughters.
How about that? He's a good one.
Yep.
Randy, you're a good one, and we wish you well. Everybody tune in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 6 o'clock. Is that what you
7
said?
o'clock. 7 to 8 or 8:30 on Wednesday.
On the Score.
Stop that weight loss or you're going to blow away this spring.
And I will not wear a kilt, I promise.
I promise. All right, good. Randy Rosetta, everybody. We'll be right back with the voice of the Baylor Bears.
Sports talk conversations with a good laugh mixed in. This is the Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Hey, Lubbock Sports Medicine. By the way, I got Dr. Rob King's name off of the recorded spot, or Jeff McGuire did. I got his name off of the recorded Rob King because he quit paying.
You know, I was listening the other day and I said, we're not saying Rob King. And it's because we got it off of there.
Yeah,
I noticed it wasn't on there anymore.
Last week was the one, and we got it off. Thanks to Jeff McGuire for doing that. He's really a magic with the recordings and stuff. But this is a great team of Dr. Jall. I'm telling you, people from all over the world come over, not all over the world, but this part of the country, maybe across the world, and they want to see the great team at Lubbock Sports Medicine. Go to lubbocksportsmed.com and check them out.
Hey, can you turn him... Coach, you're sideways. Hey, John, there you go. Perfect.
Who did that?
And I tell you what, I love the hat. That's the only one in existence, a green TNA hat.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
I'm honored to wear it. I get a lot of questions about it when I wear it around Waco, but we're just spreading the good news of TNA.
There you go. Spread the gospel.
It's always been good news, hasn't it, John?
Well, yeah, absolutely. With you guys, it is. Great to be on with you.
Well, you bet. This is John Morris. He's the voice of the Baylor Bears for how long?
Oh, gosh, this season, and we open next Saturday. This will be my 38th overall and 30th doing play-by-play. So seen the good, the bad, and the ugly, and looking forward to a new season.
Well, and that's football, but you also do basketball, don't you?
Yeah, basketball, full-time since 95. Started doing games in 84, so goes back a ways.
With Frank Fallon.
The best.
Like the Jack Dale. Those two guys were absolutely the best in the business. They were great.
Yeah. And thanks for bringing that up. I mean, Frank was our Jack Dale for your listeners. And those two guys, 50 years for Jack and 43 years for Frank. I won't make it near that long. But they were they are iconic. And isn't it great that we can still think about them and call their name and remember how good they were even this many years later.
Well, you say you're not going to make it that long, but you look relatively young and you seem relatively healthy. What's going to keep you from doing it?
I'm trying to get through the next game. I got a game next.
Boredom. 3-9. 3-9 will make you quit.
Yeah, that's right.
3-9
wears on you for sure.
It does.
But you've been through some good days too.
Oh man, y'all had some great years.
Absolutely. 2021, was best year in Baylor football history, and that was just 3 years ago. Dave Aranda, 12-2 Baylor, Big 12 champs. Remember that win over Oklahoma State in the Big 12 championship game, and then won the Sugar Bowl over Ole Miss. So that's not that far ago. So long ago. That's a very good memory.
Well, let me ask you this, because in order for Baylor, for Texas Tech, for anybody to be good anymore, you got to have people with money that are willing to share their money with your program. Do y'all have the top money people that are going to get you in the top 20 and keep you in the top 20?
We've got great fans, and they're so loyal through the years, through the good years, through the not so good years. They've been just really, really loyal. And now it's a different world, with boosters and just supporters at every school. You're just asking so much of them. And I tell you what, guys, our issue is, it's not a huge fan base. We're not a big state school. We're a private school. We've got smaller numbers. And it seems like to me we keep going to the same people and saying, hey, we need this. We need you for this. And they keep answering the call. But what we're trying to do is spread that, spread it to a lot more people. So it's not the same people we call on all the time. But our people are really, really good. We've just finished 2 huge building projects here in Waco. Foster Pavilion is our new basketball arena. You drive up and down I-35, you'll see it right on the opposite side from McLean Stadium. And then just this week, we opened a new football development center, the Fudge Football Development Center. And all of football moved out of our what is our athletic building. And it's brand new, and it is state-of-the-art, and it is fantastic. So those 2 combined are about $310 million in projects. Wow. That we've just opened recently.
Well, the good thing is you got that money before you had to start giving the money to the players. So you got that stuff built before the money had to go elsewhere.
You're exactly right. We had a department staff meeting yesterday morning, and Mac Rhodes said if we had been 6 to 9 months later starting those projects, we wouldn't have either one of them right now, because of what you said. Yeah. We'd have to be smart about that money going to players.
That's the same. Our South End, do we play y'all here or there this year?
It's out there.
Okay, well, you'll get to see our South End, which is just a phenomenal $200+ million deal. But we would not have it if we'd waited till about now and tried to gather up the chips, because the chips have to go elsewhere.
Yeah, that's a beautiful facility. I recently looked at the cam. There's like a webcam that's up, and that's amazing. So what a great new look for Jones AT&T Stadium.
Yeah.
Well, John, I don't know whether you knew it or not, but you have broadcast 429 consecutive Baylor football games. 429.
Yeah.
They pay you for this?
That's what I said. I'm trying to get to one more. I'm trying to get to the next one.
To 430.
No, he's actually an assistant athletic director at Baylor University, and I don't know of very many places that the color or play-by-play guy is on the staff as an athletic director. How'd that come about?
Yeah, I love it.
I love it. Well, that is unusual, isn't it, in your industry?
There are a few others, like Wyatt Thompson at Kansas State and John Walters at Iowa State. I'm probably forgetting some, but those guys, they're in this same kind of role in the athletic department. And it's just great. I go to work every day in our athletic building and get to be around all the people behind the scenes and work with them, not just, the coaches, but a lot of other people also. So I've been really blessed. I started at Baylor full-time in 1995, and it's just been great.
Well, you got to wear more hats than the play-by-play guy and your TNA cap. What other hats do you wear that gives you that title?
Yeah, so I oversee all of our broadcasts, really. That doesn't mean I have to do them all, and I don't, but oversee that and our crews. And our association with Playfly Sports. We're not with Learfield any longer. We're with Playfly Sports. So work with them very closely with our radio station, our flagship station here in Waco. So anything, that you'd think of kind of broadcasting wise, I'm involved in here.
What year were you named the Sportscaster of the Year?
It was 2019, and then COVID hit. I thought naming me kind of shut things down for them, but they came back stronger than ever. So it was 2019, and what a great honor that is in this state. I mean, You think about all the great broadcasters, you two guys included. Think about that, and to be recognized by your peers, that's a vote of other people in the media. It was a real honor.
That's a big deal. Well, I think that now that you got it, I think Gary and I are next, don't you think?
Well, I think
he should be.
Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure that ain't going to happen.
I know. They just tolerate us, John, as best they can. We just try to stay on the track as best we can, too.
If there's a vote, you got my vote.
Okay. Well, good chance we're not going to ever be assistant athletic directors either. So.
No. We won't be. Well, what's the deal on Baylor this year? I'm reading, I talked to Seth Parr, who coached Sawyer Robertson in high school. He said Sawyer, and we have a good friend who is a Baylor alum and loves the Baylor Bears. We came down for the scrimmage, and he said Sawyer looks better than the other guy. I don't know. I know Sawyer's not going to start, but I saw the release that they're going to, what's his name, Finn?
Have they got some money invested in the other guy?
DeQuan Finn.
Yes, DeQuan Finn's his name, and it's kind of like it is these days. If you need a quarterback, you just go find and pay and buy a quarterback. So DeQuan Finn is that guy. He was at Toledo and had a great career, MAC Offensive Player of the Year the last 2 years. So he had a great year, great career there. This is different now going into the Big 12. But I think these days you got to have more than one quarterback,
Yeah, you do, for sure.
I don't know the last time we went through a whole season with one quarterback. So Sawyer Robertson is a great quarterback. And I'm glad we've got both of them because I think at some point both will play. They named DeQuan the starter just this week. And we got a new offense, and he seems to fit that really well. But Sawyer has taken to it really well also. So, it's a new offense. You guys know the name Jake Spavital. He's our new offensive coordinator, and it's going to be we're going back to more of an open air raid type wide offense and throwing more and then throwing to set up the run. So that's our offense. And then defensively, it's interesting this year. Coach Aranda is taking more of a hands-on role. So Coach Aranda, who won a national championship at LSU, is the defensive coordinator there. He's back to calling the plays defensively, and I think that's going to be a huge plus for us also.
That'll be good. Well, we got one of your best assets y'all have ever had at Baylor University and our head coach, Joey McGuire. I'm telling you, we are fired up about Coach McGuire. He is awesome.
You got more than one of our best assets. You got him. You got Grant McCaslin.
Yeah.
You got Josh Bookbinder out there. So you got a lot of guys that came through here that we really love and appreciate and support every time, except when they're playing Baylor. So great guys, and Coach McGuire would be at the top of that list, and Coach McCaslin.
Yeah. They're good ones.
Without a doubt. God, that is a shame that we took them both from Baylor because
I know it.
We need to be taking stuff from A&M and Texas and stuff like that. And all.
For the long time, we had coaches, that were doing well. They'd go on somewhere else. Texas never would hire anybody from Baylor because I think they couldn't lower themselves to say, they're pretty good at.
Y'all got somebody better than what we have.
Well, they hired David McWilliams. You remember the day he was here 1 year, but he was a Longhorn. He was a Longhorn grad, so that qualified him. But
yeah.
They probably wouldn't have. Kind of the same. Yeah, it's a good thing you said that, John, because that's really how they are. Y'all are good enough. Y'all
we can say that. I miss them. I'm sorry they're gone, but they made their choice and they're gone, and we're going to be fine without them. So good luck to them.
Well, I'll tell you one thing it does is, what do we got, 16 teams now? And maybe UConn coming. We can talk about that later. But
oh, my gosh.
But I think the 16 teams, now your budgets are very similar in the 16 teams instead of two teams with twice the money and twice the tradition and all that you're trying to recruit against and beat and all. Now it's pretty much a level playing field. Not that you couldn't beat Texas and you couldn't beat OU, But let me tell you what, it's like trying to have a vacation as nice as the rich people. It's probably not going to happen all that much. So anyway.
That's a good point. I like our league. I mean, I like the 4 new schools that are coming in this year. Our commissioner has been very aggressive in getting those schools out, getting them here. I don't think we're done. I think there's going to be more change, maybe more schools coming in the next year or two.
Yeah, Baylor better take care of themselves, and we better take care of ourselves, because things will change, and they change pretty darn quick nowadays.
Who would have ever imagined, John, we're visiting with John Morris, who's the play-by-play guy for Baylor University football and all other sports, but that the Pac-12 would just be gone. I mean, how is that even possible? This is the League of Champions or whatever they were.
Yeah, unbelievable, isn't it? That this would be the state of college athletics, and it really speaks to, again, how good Bob Bowlesby first and then Brett Yormark have been in not only keeping the Big 12 alive, but helping it flourish and jump ahead of the Pac-12. That's where the Big 12 won. The Pac-12 really lost, was jumping ahead of them in the television contract. And you're right. I never would have thought that a conference with all that history and all those schools, would be gone like it is in the Pac-12.
It's amazing.
Well, and no, I agree with that. I had a thought, and it just flew away. And when you get to be our advanced age, John, you better say it when it gets in there. It'll be gone.
How old are you, John? How old are you now?
Well, funny you should ask. Today's my birthday.
Happy
I thought
birthday.
That's why you had it on.
Yeah.
How many birthdays is this?
65.
65. Oh, good one.
Yeah,
Medicare.
Yeah.
Have you been getting phone calls? Have you been getting phone calls about getting signed up?
I get a lot of emails from those people. And we're starting to get mail too. What's all this AARP mail and Medicare mail and everything?
You didn't want to see that.
We are there.
Well, we talked earlier about the NIL and how it's affecting the deal, and you said your enrollment there and your alumni base is small. But let me tell you something about Baylor. Y'all don't have many poor people. There are not many poor people go to Baylor. Not many poor people graduate from Baylor, and there are not many poor people that are alumni of Baylor. So that helps, doesn't it?
Yeah, we've got great fan support, and they're very loyal. Like I said, I mean, they've been with us through thick and thin, and it does help. You're right. I mean, we've got, like every school, we've got some significant alums who have been blessed in life beyond school and in their businesses, and they're very good about supporting their alma mater. So you're exactly right, but I don't think we're alone. I mean, I think Mr. Womble's a good example at your place. There's a lot of people at every school that have been blessed and enjoy and appreciate and know how important it is to give back to their school.
No doubt about it, and we've got to have them. But I think y'all need to be getting more poor people to come to school.
It's hard to get.
It's so expensive to go.
Found this out yesterday at our staff meeting. You know what? A year's 1 year scholarship for Baylor is $79,186.
Oh my gosh.
How about that?
He's got it down to the $186.
Hey, when my cousin Bill Brasher went to Baylor, he showed me his what it cost to go. I could go 4 years at Tech. What it cost him to go one semester at Baylor. I was like, this is ridiculous. Of course, it was really cheap to go to Tech back in those days, but
which brings up the point, with all these changes and the NIL, and then the House case settlement, and then the roster, expansions also. We want to expand our rosters. We want Mitch Thompson with baseball to have every opportunity, to win that he can, and that means more players. But that's an expensive nut to crack. When you talk about the scholarship increases in every sport at a school like Baylor.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. Well, John, hey, we appreciate you. We don't want to abuse your time, because when we play y'all here, we either want you to come in the studio or we want to have you on again. So we look forward to playing you guys later in the season.
I would love to do it, and great to be on with you guys today. I think our good friends Corey and Patty Priest, right? So.
Oh yeah. I had Bible study with them.
That's right. They told me that last time I saw them. So,
All right.
Honored to be on with you guys. Thanks for the cap. I wear it with pride and answer questions and mention your name. Why am I wearing a cap that says T&A?
Thank you, John. We'll see you later.
Appreciate you.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
Sports talk conversations with a good laugh mixed in. This is the Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Hey, well, what an honor it is.
Wake up, Coach.
Time to get up, Coach. Go to work.
I'm awake.
Yeah, he's been up a while because he texted me at 7 this morning.
You've probably been at the office 3 or 4 hours already, hadn't you? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can barely hear you, but I'm good.
Okay.
All right, well, we can hear you fine, and we've been looking forward to seeing you again. That's why I wanted you to Zoom so we could look at you. And you can't see us, can you?
I cannot.
Okay.
I cannot. But I miss you guys, man. Obviously, as I told you guys when I was leaving, man, I had a great time in Lubbock, Texas, and got some unbelievably close friends still, my wife and I, and we definitely miss it.
That's great. Well, we miss you. You were always a gentleman and a great coach, and I'm so glad you're at Abilene Christian. I come down there to do playoff games at your stadium. I love that stadium. That is really cool.
No doubt. Beautiful place to play and very intimate, right on top of you. So it's been really, really good. It
really is. And you just feel right at home, don't you, Coach?
You know, I do. Abilene, Lubbock, I'm surrounded by people like I grew up around, and there's just a comfort level, and that's what made Texas Tech such an enjoyable experience, as well as here in Abilene.
Well, you talk about the people that you're surrounded with. We talked earlier to John Morris, voice of the Baylor Bears, and we got into the NIL deal and how those fans and all have to be willing to pony up to compete. And y'all are D1, and there's a lot of money being thrown around in D1. Are your fans able to step up and pony up and keep up?
I'll tell you an interesting fact about our football team. Since I've been here in 3 years, I've probably brought in over 75 players through the portal. A lot of a lot of Texas high school players that went off to Minnesota, Arizona State,
Texas Tech,
UCLA, you name it. I brought them in from everywhere. And Oklahoma State, Texas, Oklahoma. Got 6 starters on offense that played while I was at Texas Tech. And so the amazing thing about it is I've never had a conversation about NIL. I kind of treat our program as the NIL rehab. All of our kids, I just ask one question. They're just looking for a place to come and play and play Division I football in the state of Texas and have an opportunity to get on the field. And so far, we hadn't even gotten into the NIL game, to be honest. Well, and get a great education, which y'all offer. No doubt.
That's amazing, Coach.
Great school and great place to play. And
it's a great town.
It's been a great experience to this point.
Abilene's a really great town. I like it. Got lots of things.
People here, obviously there's a lot of Red Raider fans in Abilene. And then, my next door neighbor, he's got his daughter's got jerseys, half of them purple, half of them Raider red, and man, it's been neat. I grew up. My street that I live on, my neighbors are all Texas Tech alumni, so it's been a great experience just to reminisce about our time in Lubbock with those people and the experience that we had, and it's been good. There's a lot of really good people in Abilene, Texas.
Well, Coach, it's I don't know what you were planning on, or you've had a really long coaching career at a lot of different places, and you when you get to Abilene Christian, you give them their first winning record since 2018. Didn't y'all go 7-4 last year?
Yeah, it was year one. We got beat in the last minute of the game in the conference championship game.
Oh. Well, I bet everybody was fired up though, but you've had a lot of experience.
It was we finished the season last year at A&M, and we pick off a play right there, pick off a pass in the first quarter and ran it back for a touchdown. So we had all kinds of fans taking pictures of the scoreboard, ACU 7, A&M nothing, and that that was probably one of the most popular plays in ACU football history.
I bet it was.
Well, are you going to try and play an A&M, a Texas Tech, something one a year or two a year? Or is that part of the plan?
If you like a Tech, A&M, Baylor, and then maybe follow that up with someone like from the American, whether it be UTSA or try to get one of the big guys and then some of the mid-majors is a good model probably for us. Obviously, it goes a long way in helping our athletic budget. Being a small private university, there's challenges of playing Division I football, and so you got to go play those games. Those are very important to our program, not just in football, but our overall athletic program.
Well, give us who else is in your conference. Assuming there's not 16.
Anywhere from Dixie, Utah, all the way out to North Alabama. So basically, we play in the United, which is it was a 10-team conference. We have North Alabama, Austin Peay, West Georgia, Central Arkansas, and then Eastern Kentucky on the east side. Then on our side, we had it's us and Tarleton and Southern Utah and Utah Tech and Stephen F. Austin just left our conference to go back to the Southland a couple of months ago. So it's just the nature of college football. It's so we get our frequent flyer miles in.
I was about to say the only one that you can drive to quits on you and goes back to their old conference. Now that's fine for football, Coach. That's fine because you're going to have 6 road games and 6 home games. But, I mean, for baseball and all those other sports, are y'all still in that same conference?
That's right. And the problem with baseball, I mean, we had Cal Baptist and Seattle University. So, I mean, softball and baseball and basketball having to travel all the way to Seattle. And, man, the logistics of that are a challenge for sure. But it's just – I'm old school. I like the regional conferences, obviously, but I know that that's probably a thing of the past, just because TV and the money and like you was talking about earlier, the NIL have all changed that. And I don't see it going back.
Coach, I do. I think the future is going to hold regional conferences, maybe not for football, maybe not for men's basketball, but I think it's going to have to. Out of just, like you said, logistics, money, necessity, time in the classroom, lots of reasons to go back to regional.
Because they just, these hotels, I mean, you just get gouged on meals and then travel obviously is flying is obviously not cheap, and it is. I hope you're right. I really do. I would love to see the regional rivalries. I mean, it's what makes college sports to me, it's what makes it unique.
Well, you're going to have to get some people with common sense to sit in a room and lay it out and just say, hey, guys, this is the way it's going to be. Now, football, do you think, because that's where all the money is, y'all do your thing, but these other sports shouldn't have to be punished because football's,
You fly all the way to Seattle to get swept in 3 in volleyball.
Yeah, in an hour. In an hour, yeah.
That's a long flight home.
You could tell Uber, you could tell the bus, we'll be right back.
Okay. All right, I know you're excited to come here next week and play. What should our Tech fans expect out of you guys? How bad y'all expecting to beat us?
And I know this sounds coach speak, but really going into game 1, we have really put a tremendous amount of focus on us, obviously, which is what we always do. But what a tremendous opportunity for our football team. I mean, you got number one, you're getting to play a top-tier Big 12 football program. Right, it's two and a half hours up the street here. Mm-hmm. I have 6 starters on offense that started their career at Texas Tech. I have Isaiah Johnson is a running back for me, played at Cooper. Nehemiah Martinez from Cooper. Isaiah Kelly starts for me on defense, played right there at Lubbock, Coronado. So I'm excited for those young men to be able to go home, per se, and to be able to play in front of family and friends. We have nothing but respect for Joey and what they've done with that football program. And man, I just want our guys to show up and compete. And in 2 years we've lost 5 games by 1 point, 3 points, 3 points, 3 points, and 7 points. So I want to see our guys continue to build and win games when circumstances get hard. That's been just getting over the hump. If we win those games, we're 17-5 in 2 years. And after a decade of non-winning football. So we're moving in the right direction. To me, it's just I want to see where we've been. I mean, we're at Missouri year 1, and it's 20-10 midway through the third quarter, and we're driving the ball and we fumble. And then last year against A&M in the fourth quarter, it's 24-10. We have a chance to block a punt, and we don't. So I just want to see our guys go compete and have fun playing the game that they love to play.
That's a great word right there. And I'll tell you, I appreciate you mentioning those Lubbock. You had a kid from Estacada running back.
Jeremiah Dobbins.
Yeah, Jeremiah
all-conference player.
Yeah, he was
graduated last year.
Yeah.
Had a great career here. And he is, matter of fact, I still believe he's here in Abilene. But, yeah, it's been good, and we've tried to recruit Big Country and all the way from and then all the way up to Amarillo and down all the way to Midland, Odessa, and that this area has been really good to us.
There's some really good players, Coach. Really good players like Nehemiah Martinez. I mean, this kid's a great player. He came to Tech. He was good at Tech, and Abilene Christian gives them a great opportunity to show their skills. And I'm glad you're going after these kids and recruiting them because they deserve to play. They're that good.
Well, and that's where Joey and Tim DeRuiter and those guys have been so good. If they have a young man that after they do their exit interviews, they've been giving us a heads up on these young men that potentially might be getting in the portal. So it's been a really good relationship as far as that's concerned, and just keeping these kids at home in the state of Texas and being able to play close. And you're playing Division I football at a very small private university, and opportunity to earn a master's degree at a very respected university. And it's been a really good deal for us.
And you get to see the country.
Yeah, to travel.
That's exactly right.
Well, y'all have some of the finest facilities, Coach. I love your stadium. That's not very big. I don't know how many it holds. Is it 8,000, 10,000, 12? What is it?
I want to say it's somewhere between 10 and 12. Okay. There's probably 10,000 kids down there on the turf area on game day.
Which is fun. But y'all, Moody's just been redone for basketball and your baseball, softball. I love coming there because I love.
We got a $22 million baseball project going right now. They've completely torn down that stadium, and man, it's going to be second to none.
Isn't that great? It's a fun time, and I guess you're loving Abilene. Y'all like it?
I am. It's everyone tells me that it's Lubbock, Texas, 20 years ago.
Yeah,
it's kind of what the comparison that I've heard a lot of people here make, and it's obviously with Dice Air Force Base and the community, a lot of blue collar, tough, hard nosed working people, my kind of people, and again reminds me a lot of Lubbock, and where my wife's looking forward to it, but she's got a lot of really close friends out there, and she's excited to get back to it. I mean, she's roughing it. She's going to the U.S. Not worried about tackling Taj Brooks.
Yeah. It's Taj time, Coach. Have you heard that? It's Taj time. I thought you'd have a guy on your football team that had his own website deal going on. Taj time.
I'm telling you, he deserves it.
He does. He's a good one. Well, it's we can't wait to see you. And I don't know whether we get to see you that day. I know you're kind of busy on game day, aren't you?
You know what? Game day is kind of the only time it seems normal to me being a head coach. I mean, that you get down there now back in my comfort zone, right?
Yeah.
And no, I'm looking forward to seeing the work that they've done on the stadium, and it looks nothing but first class. And I think Kirby's done a great job with all that, and it looks unbelievable.
Well, it's a pretty unique situation being 2.5 hours from when you live in Lubbock. 2.5 hours from anybody that you're going to play is almost impossible. But will y'all come in the day before? I'm assuming you're going to bus in, or will you get up that morning and say,
yeah,
let's go get them?
We'll come over on Friday, and we do it, just treat it just like we do, whether we're at home or we'll be at the hotel there and have our pregame or our Friday night meal, and then we have some meetings, and then then we just wake up and it's just a normal game day for us, and going through all of our walkthroughs and final preparations leading up to the game. Then we get to the stadium 2 hours before kickoff. So again, we're looking forward to it. I know our players are excited, and it's going to be it's a big challenge, but what a great way to start the season.
Well, don't be messing up that brand new visitors locker room, because
yeah, how about that? That's going to be nice. I heard it's pretty nice.
Well, and we moved you to the northeast end, and that way y'all won't hear all the complimentary things our students say to you.
Should be a little safer down there
when you come into the store.
No doubt.
I'm sure you'll still hear it.
I look forward to it. I mean, obviously, what a great. I was laughing the other day. I was telling I said it's the only place I've ever coached where I saw the student section get thrown out of the game.
That's right. You guys get all right, Coach. We only got a couple 30 seconds or so, but I looked at our schedule and we just added a few teams, and we didn't add Abilene Christian. I think this should be a every other year type thing, but sometimes they don't listen to me.
I'd love it.
There's no doubt, because it's such a positive for our, not just, like I said, our football program, but our entire athletic department. It was kind of like when I was at the University of Tulsa. We played Oklahoma or Oklahoma State every other year.
Yeah, that'd be good. Hey, man, you're a great guy. You're really a great guy, and we loved you when you were here, and we still do.
Yeah, appreciate it. Had nothing but respect for Texas Tech University, and obviously love Lubbock, man.
You bet.
All right, Keith. Thank you.
You guys have a great day.
We'll see you next week.
Good luck the rest of the year.
Hey, let's make sure you guys come down there and holler at me.
I'll do it. We'll do it. All right, thank you, Coach. Keith Patterson.
Head coach, Abilene Christian.
He is a great one. He really is.
You've been listening to the Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby podcast from Double T 97.3. Catch the show live Saturday mornings from 9 to noon on Double T 97.3 FM or on the Double T 97.3 mobile app.